With confirmation that Amazon Prime Video's Reacher Season 4 will be based on the Lee Child novel Gone Tomorrow, the adaptation already faces a big challenge, starting with its opening scene. Gone Tomorrow is the 13th book in the Jack Reacher series written by Lee Child and was originally published back in 2009. The story centers on Jack Reacher, portrayed by Alan Ritchson in the popular Amazon series, as he investigates the aftermath of a deadly incident late one night on a New York City subway. Ritchson recently announced that Season 4 would adapt Gone Tomorrow, often considered one of the best books of the series, on social media. Reacher Season 4 will also feature an exciting new slate of cast members that includes Jay Baruchel, Sidel Noel, Agnes Imo, On Gunn, Kevin Corrigan, Kevin Weissman, Mark Blucas, and Kathleen Robertson. Reacher Season 4 will also see the return of Maria Stens Francis Neagley ahead of the debut of Amazon's Neagley spinoff series, which is expected to be released in 2026. Although many Reacher fans are excited to see Gone Tomorrow come to life, the book adaptation faces one unavoidable issue starting on page 1. The opening subway scene in Gone Tomorrow is great because of Reacher's inner monologue. Reacher Season 4 won't feature Reacher's bullet point list unless they use voiceover for the first time immediately upon hearing the news that Gone Tomorrow would be the source material for Reacher Season 4. I began to wonder what the opening scene would actually look like on camera. So much of Reacher's inner monologue is left out of the series already due to the fact that the series does not use voiceover for his character. That said, this will rob Reacher Season 4 viewers of Reacher's bullet point list explaining how to detect the suicide bomber that is featured at the start of Gone Tomorrow. This breakdown of all the various signs of a bomber instantly pulls readers in and is a huge part of why the opening scene is so gripping and iconic. An excerpt from Gone Tomorrow Chapter 1 reads, "Suicide bombers are easy to spot. They give out all kinds of telltale signs, mostly because they're nervous. By definition, they're all first-timers." Reacher discusses how he learned a specific list of traits to spot suicide bombers while he was in the military, which has never left him. "I kept my eyes moving and my mind running free down the bullet points. 20 years later, I still know the list." Unless the Reacher show is going to break its traditional format and use VO, this famous opening scene may not be as effective without hearing Reacher's thought process. How Reacher Season 4 can still make Gone Tomorrow's opening scene work for TV. The show can enhance the tense dialogue between Reacher and the bomber. I personally wouldn't mind if Reacher Season 4 broke tradition and gave Reacher a voiceover point of view monologue for this scene. Without it, I don't see how the opening scene, which is such a great part of the books, could produce the same impact in a visual format. Of course, tension and suspicion can be built purely through visual storytelling, but it wouldn't be as fascinating or specific without Reacher's point-by-point analysis. Perhaps Reacher could quietly be speaking to Neagley or someone else on the phone when he detects the apparent suicide bomber, since in the book, he initially spots her from afar. Perhaps Reacher could quietly be speaking to Neagley or someone else on the phone when he detects the apparent suicide bomber, since in the book, he initially spots her from afar. There's also the issue of dialogue between Reacher and the apparent bomber on the subway, which will likely be altered anyway to better match Ritchson's portrayal of the character. Reacher could explain some of this bullet point checklist to the bomber, which would make for a gripping scene as he tries to de-escalate her from making a bad decision. Of course, those who have read Gone Tomorrow already know what happens at the end of the scene. But for those who are coming in blind, they deserve to enjoy Reacher's analytical expertise the same way that Gone Tomorrow readers have. Ultimately, if Reacher Season 4 doesn't capture that scene well, it will start off the entire season on a disappointing note. Thanks for watching.